As I mentioned, it's a great pleasure to have here with us Love Agarwal, the Joint Secretary of the Ministry of Health and Welfare for the Government of India, and also Faisal Al-Kotikollan, Chairman and Founder of KEF Holdings. I'd like to start off with you, Your Excellency, if I may. Now, you mentioned, obviously, the pandemic in your presentation there, and you spoke about, a global community and working together was one of these big sort of key lessons. Tell us about some of the other lessons that you feel that sort of India specifically has learned throughout this very, very tough period.
Can I speak in Hindi?
Sir,
you
sir.
translate
Yeah, I'll do that, sir.
in English.
Yes, sir.
Okay? हिंदी समझ लेंगे आप? समझ लेंगे ना? Don't worry. जो क्वेश्चंस पूछा है पेंडेमिक में क्या लेसन लेंगे?
The question which is what India has learned during the pandemic. So we would like to explain on that.
पेंडेमिक ने हमें और दुनिया को साथ में मिलके काम करने के लिए सिखाया है.
Pandemic has taught us and world to work together when it comes to managing health issues.
और हेल्थ सेक्टर एक ऐसा सेक्टर है जिसमें कंटिन्यूस रिसर्च होता रहता है, कंटिन्यूस न्यू थेरापी और न्यू मेडिकल प्रैक्टिस ऑपरेट होती है. ऐसी स्थिति में इंटरनेशनल प्लेटफॉर्म पर एक दूसरे के रिसर्च को शेयर करके देश के और विश्व के नागरिकों को बचाना यही सामूहिक दायित्व होना चाहिए.
So what is very important about health is that in health new researches keep emerging. When it comes to even practices as well as the drugs and other components of health sector delivery, they also keep on upgrading themselves. So in these situations, it is very critical that all these activities which are happening with respect to research, drugs and diagnostics need to be shared across the world, and this should be our collective responsibility.
इंडिया ने कभी हेल्थ केयर को और फार्मा इंडस्ट्रीज़ को बिजनेस बाद में देखा है, सेवा पहले देखी है. और जब फर्स्ट कोविड वेव आया था उस वक्त दुनिया के पास मेडिसिन नहीं थी. एट दैट टाइम हमने दुनिया के 150 देशों को एक क्रिटिकल स्थिति में इंडिया में लॉकडाउन चल रहा था, लेकिन भी हमने मैन्युफैक्चरिंग भी किया, देश की रिक्वायरमेंट को भी पूरी किया और दुनिया को मेडिसिन सप्लाई की. यही हमारी वसुधैव कुटुंबकम की फिलॉसफी है.
India has never looked at health sector and pharma industry as activities in themselves, but has always looked towards them in terms of what service we are doing to the humanity. And as part of that process, we have never looked at these services as businesses, but as service approach. And during the first phase of pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, when even India was passing through critical restrictions including lockdown, it is at that time India understood its responsibility as part of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, which means whole world is one family, and we supported whole world in terms of providing medicines, critical medicines needed across the world to more than 150 countries in the world. And this is how India has approached, and this is how India has worked towards managing pandemic, and these are the learnings which India has got with itself.
हेल्थ केयर सेक्टर में एक दूसरों को मदद करने के लिए ही हमने हमारी ज़रूरियात को पूरा करके जैसा हमने मेडिसिन में किया वैसा ही. इंडिया इज़ ए बिग कंट्री एंड ह्यूज पॉपुलेशन, लेकिन भी हमने वैक्सीन का रिसर्च भी किया, वैक्सीन का मैन्युफैक्चरिंग भी किया. आज वैक्सीन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में हम 310 मिलियन डोज पर मंथ मैन्युफैक्चर कर रहे हैं. इंडिया की रिक्वायरमेंट पूरी करके हम दुनिया को भी आज सप्लाई कर रहे हैं.
Not only we worked on drugs also, we also focused in our specific research capabilities and manufacturing capabilities on vaccine development also. And I am happy to highlight on behalf of Government of India that not only we supported whole world with the drugs, but even in terms of vaccine manufacturing and research, when we are presently producing more than around 310 million doses per month, we have catered to the demand of what is needed to be provided to India, as well as we have supported whole world in its endeavor for managing COVID-19 pandemic.
कोविड पेंडेमिक में हम WHO और दुनिया के साथ मिलकर काम करना चाहते हैं और ऐसी स्थिति में डेटा शेयरिंग, डेटा एनालिसिस ये सबसे महत्वपूर्ण होता है और हम दुनिया के साथ हमारा भी डेटा शेयर करते हैं और दुनिया में जो नया रिसर्च होता है और दुनिया में जो रिसर्च और डेटा के आउटपुट के आधार पर जो भी इंटरनेशनल गाइडलाइन बनती है उसको हम फॉलो भी करते हैं और यही आज के दिन में समय की मांग है.
We have collaborated with world at large, WHO, and we have realized that it is very critical to focus on data sharing and data analysis to understand how the overall trajectory of pandemic is moving. And we have understood India's responsibility in terms of sharing this data with the world body, and we have also utilized the research and the data details which are available from the world in terms of understanding how India has to sort of manage pandemic within the country, and these learnings from the world have been utilized in country for overall COVID-19 pandemic management also.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'd now like to very quickly move closer to home here to the UAE for just a moment. So we move over to Faisal. Tell us a little bit about, obviously, KEF Holding, where the company that you're chairman and founder of. And also tell us a little bit about your views on how well you feel that the UAE in particular has responded to the pandemic as well then.
Thank you, Excellencies. Good afternoon, everybody. I came here in 1995. I'm 26 years in UAE. I built the first valve business in the region to manufacture oil and gas valves. I sold the business in 2012, a large multinational called Tyco, for $1 billion. So after we sold that business in 2012, I talked to my wife, Shabana, and asked ourselves what we want to do next for the next 10 to 20 years. So we decided not to do business. Then we said, let us dedicate our life to transform two basic things in our human beings, is education and health. We work with, in India, UAE and Africa. On the education front, we work with the Indian government, mainly in Kerala, first we start with. We've created a model of bringing public education better than a private education. So it's called PRISM. Today, one pilot project we started in 2013, it's been emulated in 966 schools in Kerala alone. 1.2 million schools have been benefited, or students have benefited. Model has been expanded to other parts of the world. We are also doing it in Uganda now. Second part on the healthcare, I went and visited Cleveland Clinic in US in 2013. I invited them to join on my board and asked myself, why can't we create a Cleveland Clinic in India? So we started this understanding of healthcare issues from 2013 to 17. And the biggest challenge was building a quality healthcare system which is affordable and accessible to the public. So that work I completed in 2017. We invested $250 million in India as we speak, both in education and healthcare. To build a hospital, I built a factory. So the idea was to build any hospital infrastructure, it takes 4 to 5 years in India. So we said it's too long. So what we did was we came up with a concept called manufacturing buildings and manufacturing hospitals. So we set up this $80 million facility near Bangalore and built another $90 million facility in my hometown in Kerala. And this is the first hospital built out of the factory. You know, it's built in 18 months with 200 people. Everything is modular. And we took the advice of Cleveland Clinic to be on our board to do the care pathways. You know, how do you make medicine process driven? You know, because every doctor is got their own ways of treating a patient. We said, how do you build a protocol? And we started with Sex Center of Excellences. Today we are doing extremely well. And also we are working with the government medical colleges, giving technology to the Kerala government, and we are hoping to give it to other medical colleges in India. Because we need to bring equitable education and equitable healthcare into the society. And that's what I've been working on. I'm here, basically I take this opportunity to also with the Minister of Health over here. India can do a lot to the world in healthcare. The biggest challenge in healthcare is the devices and the equipments, nothing is produced in developing world. Everything is coming from the West. Either it's Siemens, GE or Philips. And it's too expensive. For example, I'm into transplants, and our hospital does heart and lung transplant, kidney transplant, liver transplant. To get an artificial heart, today it costs $150,000. So we started this development of artificial heart with a famous surgeon called Dr. K.R. Balakrishnan. And we have been developing this in Australia. Why Australia? Because to get the animal test done in India, it takes 2 years. Correct? We have one animal laboratory in the country which is approved by the government. So most of the testing happens outside into the Western world, and it takes too long and too expensive. So most of the expensive devices are coming to India because of the research done in the West. Correct? So we have started this development of artificial heart because organ transplant for heart is the toughest because you have to do in 4 to 6 hours. So this is the final stage of the development. Already the product is out. It's in the animal testing in Sydney. And also we are developing an artificial lung, because with the COVID, a lot of people having the lung issues now. And this is like a Pepsi bottle. We are developing this in Aachen University in Germany. All these things can be done in India. So I think I wanted to bring this because I'm deep into this subject of healthcare. How to make healthcare equitable. We need to develop all these products and equipments in India.
Yes.
And we can approve for the world. Why we bring something approved in the West to India, which is not required. We have all the knowledge, best doctors in the world.
Yes.
So this is what KEF is doing now. I don't do business anymore. My main interest is focused on transforming healthcare and education through researchers. So that's it.
Very, very impressive indeed.
Coming back into the question of how did UAE responded to the pandemic.
Yes.
So every nation, it's all starting from the great leadership. A good leader should be able to foresee the problems and foresee the opportunities. The two things. We have always in life both problems and opportunities. We should be able to foresee what is going to happen. And we should act very fast. So what UAE has done is, with the great leaders we have in this country, they've acted very quick. January, when they heard in China this has been started, they acquired all the vaccines which is available from China itself, Sinopharm. See, I got the first doses in the month of April, correct? So I think that reaction time is what made this country today one of the most successful vaccinated country in the world. People are trying to study this model.
The rollout here has been incredibly, incredibly impressive.
Thank you. I want to submit some things. It is very important issue you have raised. My submission is it that अभी ये पुराना इंडिया नहीं रहा है, इंडिया बदल रहा है. अभी मैं आपको रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ कि जो आपने क्वेश्चंस राइज किया, आपको क्लिनिकल एनिमल ट्रायल के लिए 2 साल लग रहा था, ये लग रहा था, अभी लग नहीं रहा है.
I'm happy to hear that.
Second opportunity.
No, happy to hear that.
Second thing is it that आपने जो मेंशन किया कि इंडिया में मेडिकल डिवाइस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के लिए इंडिया का मार्केट भी बढ़ रहा है, इंडिया में मिडिल क्लास भी बढ़ रहा है, इंडिया में अपॉर्चुनिटी भी बहुत है. 70% मेडिकल डिवाइस नाउ एंड टुडे वी आर इम्पोर्ट, बट नाउ इट टाइम इज गॉन. वी हैव स्टार्टेड नंबर ऑफ इनिशिएटिव इन इंडिया. अभी हमने देखा कि इंडिया में मेडिकल डिवाइस एपीआई मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में क्या बाधा है. वी आर फार्मेसी ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, बट हम जेनरिक मेडिसिन में हैं. तो हम जेनरिक मेडिसिन के अलावा एपीआई में क्या वायबिलिटी गैप है. हम इंटरनेशनल मार्केट से हमारा मैन्युफैक्चरर्स, हमारा एंटरप्रेन्योर्स क्यों उसकी कंपटीशन नहीं कर पा सकते थे. तो गैप हमने देखा, और ये जो गैप हमें आइडेंटिफाई करके हमने ऐसे 53 एपीआई आइडेंटिफाई किया जिसमें हमने पीएलआई स्कीम के तहत 20% इंसेंटिव देना शुरू किया. और आज इंडिया में मेक इन इंडिया में मैन्युफैक्चरिंग स्टार्ट हो गया. और अगले आने वाले वर्षों में हमें एपीआई पर भी डिपेंडेंसी नहीं होनी पड़ेगी। सेकंड, मेडिकल डिवाइस में भी हमने पीएलआई स्कीम लॉन्च किया, उसमें 5% इंसेंटिव देना स्टार्ट किया। फॉर मेडिकल डिवाइस पार्क हम लगा रहे हैं। ऐसा करके आने वाले दिनों में विदिन 5 इयर्स आप अभी से ही आइडेंटिफाई करो, और मेडिकल डिवाइस सेक्टर इंडिया में ग्रोइंग सेक्टर है, उसके लिए पीएलआई स्कीम है, नंबर ऑफ टाइप ऑफ इंसेंटिव है, एक इकोसिस्टम बनी हुई है, गुड गवर्नेंस है, ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस है। यू कम इन इंडिया एंड इन्वेस्ट इन इंडिया।
Will do.
ये आज के दिन में अपॉर्चुनिटी आपके लिए ओपन है।
And thank you very much, Minister. I think what we need is this. We need 4 free zones in 4 corners of India. And I'm sure that the whole world is looking at India to be invested. And we need to bring in excellence. We need to move away. I'm not saying that generic medicine, we need them, correct? But we need to really get into the cutting edge technology in the healthcare. Equipments and devices and medicine, which is costly, has to be manufactured and brought down the cost in India. And only India can do that, because the amount of knowledge we have, no other world has got it. And why are we depending on the rest of the world? We need to be helping the other world to bring down the
we
cost.
are running out of time. I do apologise. I have people in my ear telling me that we have to wrap up very soon. And I'd love to give you the opportunity to say a few words as well. Tell us, why don't you finish the conversation for us with how essentially Dubai, the UAE and India can collaborate to help create world-class infrastructure. Tell us about that connection for healthcare.
So let me at the outset, just compliment Mr. Faisal for raising those issues, how he's working in India. So I think it is a critical and starting example which I would like to give, that India and UAE can collaborate and create a better world, not for India and UAE, but support the action on this particular front across the world, including even low and middle income countries across the world. Having said that, see, what is very critical is that India and UAE relations actually do not go in a very, very limited period of time. It spans centuries and more than centuries. So, and we are all connected by human-to-human interaction. Around 40% of population in UAE is primarily Indian. So we have that human-to-human interaction relation, which makes this relationship particularly important for India and UAE. And in terms of the opportunities which exist for us, as has been highlighted, the huge market, the middle class, the type of need for developing infrastructure within India, and the world-class research which is happening in India, these are few of those actions wherein UAE and India can collaborate together. There is so much which is happening in terms of best practices, including artificial intelligence, digital technologies which are happening, including robotics in UAE. There are similar such initiatives which are happening across the country, particularly in our towns like Pune, Bangalore, Gurgaon, all those places across the country where the budding engineers and the budding talent of country is actually doing very cutting edge research. So how do we sort of match these two things and also couple them with respect to investment and an overall positive environment where these things can actually get implemented at the field level? The point which Mr. Faisal mentioned in terms of hospital infrastructure upgradation. With the fact that India has launched the biggest health assurance scheme of the world, where 500 million population of the country will actually get 500,000 worth of health assurance per year free for the whole family. And this is, this is much more than the population of large number of countries across the world. So this initiative which has been taken by at the level of Honorable Prime Minister, which will require a lot of support in terms of ensuring across the nook and corners of the country, a large amount of health infrastructure get further added. And that is where again India and UAE can work together. And similarly, human-to-human interaction in terms of our Honorable Minister talked about the fact that we produce the largest number of specialists, doctors, pharmacists, all allied health services across the country. And these are the set of people who actually are providing large amount of health services within this country also. This interaction can further improve. We can also add to the health infrastructure within UAE. So this is the type of relationship we look forward. And I think a forum like this, where those issues which got reflected, where we said, yes, there was a issue which was probably anticipated earlier, which does not exist. So this is the spirit of understanding each other and working towards in that direction. will bring the required change.
Very
I'd like
well
to
said
bring
indeed.
one specific collaboration, what UAE
Very
India
quickly,
is-
and then we'll have to wrap
UAE,
up. Yes.
UAE is being done. See, 2013, the UAE ruling family approached myself first, being the foundation, to set up a medical research facility in UAE. There's no medical research facility in UAE. So this facility is called Jalila Foundation. Excellency Amin Puri had visited. It spent around 400 million dirhams, so 800 crores. I'm very proud and happy to say in this audience, more than 50% of the funding was done by Indians. More than 200 million dirhams of Indian businessmen combined together. And it's one of the most beautiful research facility being built. It's opened by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum last year during the pandemic. And I think now what we can do is infrastructure is there. We can develop research from both UAE to India and India to UAE through that facility. And that is how the bilateral relations should be. We need to really collaborate the knowledge, transfer the knowledge, and utilize for both the countries.
Very well said indeed. Thank you so much. I do apologise. We have in fact run out of time, but Your Excellency, Love Agarwal, Faisal Al Kotikolon, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for keeping us up to date.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for our panel there. Thank you.